is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, CuttersEdgePro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. CuttersEdgePro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. There we go. All right. Yeah. Raise it up a little bit there. Yeah. John Padilla, bro. Wow, that's a strong start to the morning. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Big time. Thank you for a little love. Boy, you just open up and you start off with a super chat. That is very nice of you. We are hurting this morning. I got to tell you, this day-night shit is like catching up to me. And we'll be back again tonight for the Miami Heat postgame show. Hopefully it's a happy one. We desperately need a win tonight. Last night was absolutely amazing. Do you know what a star is? You know, because we have that discussion on another team. Do you know what a star looks like? Yeah. Last night, you know that guy named Kachuk? That's a star. Okay, folks? That's a star. That's what I saw last night. That is, wow. And that dude hasn't even played, what he's supposed to play in the last two games.
And he took that hit in the first, and then there was a lot of
the rest of the period.
Yeah, the rest of the period, and I think half the second. Then he came back on. I mean, he was sitting on the bench. So they didn't bring him. Yeah, they brought him back in on the second, but he was there for a while.
Shifts.
Yeah, it took a couple shifts, probably to even out everybody, because again, somebody took his spot. I think Stahl moved up from the fourth to the first, and then when he came back, he had to wait, I guess, probably for the. I don't know how hockey works. I guess you got to wait for the shifts so they don't get burned out.
Yeah, man, crazy. And Miami Breaker 305, thank you also. Very nice of you sending in the super chats this morning. That is very nice. Appreciate that. Helps the platform as always. Miami Breaker 305 says, tip your bartender for the hard work all day, every day. Thanks, Big O, for the extensive work. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thanks to Sean. Without Sean, we could not get this done. So we appreciate all of you out there, man, as always. How did I just see Frankie Fresco there. How did I do with my I lost, huh? Okay.
As soon as you went against Chris Statlander, it was, you weren't winning.
Okay. All right. So we went against the stats and we lost. That's what happens sometimes. You go against the stats and you lose. Cameron Wolf is set to join us around 10:15. Manny Navarro will stop by at 11:30. We're out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll be back again tonight. Yes. We'll be back tonight, and hopefully it'll be a happy one tonight to talk a little bit about the Heat and the Nuggets. Last night was just awesome. Montour picked up the goal, and then the first goal, and then Verhaeghe got the game winner. Kachuk tied it up to send it into overtime. I mean, it was just magical. And let me tell you something, Verhaeghe was a little quiet so far in this series.
He made his presence felt yesterday, and again, that he's been money. And last night was just another money play by Carter Verhaeghe. That was just awesome, man. Bob was terrific, and let me tell you, you know how good he was? He only had 25 saves yesterday. And that's because the people in front of him also did a really good job, which they did a really shitty job in the last game. And then they served up Bob, because if you really look at it, most of the goals he gave up in the last game, it wasn't really his fault. There was one that I would really blame him. But outside of that, the other ones, I kind of blame everybody else in front of him for being, just having poor positioning and fundamentals. And the effort just wasn't there. Yesterday, the effort should be there. You're down 2-0. You lose that game last night, and your season is over. Okay? I know some of you they could come back to win 4 straight. And yeah, I get it. Mathematically, they could do it and all that. Do I expect them to do it? No, I don't. As magical as this playoff run has been, not the season, the playoff run, I don't think they're going to come back to win 4 straight. So last night, you had to win. And by the way, you got to win again on Saturday. Is it Saturday or Sunday? No, it is Saturday. It is Saturday. Then after that, you get 2 days off. Yeah, I don't like it for the Heat tonight. I don't like that the Heat only have 1 game off. Jimmy's hurting so badly. I don't think the 1 day off. I heard him in the press conference. Well, I'm feeling better. Get the hell out of here, bro. It's just the sell job. I can't buy it anymore. I'm just not buying it anymore because I get it, bro. You got to stay positive and you got to reinforce the positive, message and keep everybody feeling, strong about all of it. So I understand the method behind the madness. But Jimmy is injured, and you're going to need these role players to step up. And I mean step up. So we'll see if that ends up happening, man. What do we got on a roll call here? John Padilla is in the house. Frankie Fresco. Jay Gelfin is in. Steven Gonzalez. Tua time. John Padilla. Let's see. He says, maybe I missed it, but I did not hear the AEW announcers mention the Iron Sheik's passing on Wednesday. They didn't talk about that? Wow.
I didn't see the very, very, very beginning. I have to go back and check my DVR, but I did not hear any mention as well.
Well, Tua time says no, and you didn't see it. Pretty good chance it didn't happen, right? Because you guys are wrestling nuts. GP Trap says, good morning, checking in from St. Augustine. Enjoy. Just don't drink the Fountain of Youth. Man, that water tastes like crap. Holy moly. John Padilla. Let's see. Alex Palenzuela. Gus 1388. EJ Barro. Miami Breaker 305. Pablo Diaz. Terry Lynch. Miami Breaker says this team's going to give me a heart attack. No doubt. Happy Friday. Zombie mode at work today. Oh, you have to be a dog this work week. Thanks for the content. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Well, Sean and I only know one way to do it, bro. We grind. It's the only way to get it done, right? I saw the Square show with a Wade for the first time with Lala and Gabby Union. My God, what did Lala do to her face? All that surgery looks hard. Really? Oh, the Cube. Yeah. I've never watched it. It looks like a terrible show. It is terrible? Okay, so then I don't watch it ever.
Yeah.
Although I would want to watch it because of Lala and Gabby. I mean, those are 2 incredibly hot women.
And Shaq trying to hit free throws was pretty good. I guess.
Yeah? Okay.
That's all this is, a basketball game with tennis balls. I mean, that's basically, and they move it around to where you have to make shots. It's
okay.
It's a Dwayne Wade show.
It always is down here in Miami, that's for sure. Ray Sosa in, Giovanni is in, Razzle Dazzle Crypto, Chad, Eddie Lepp, Terry, King Short. Lep says, "Man, it looks so bad. Losing looked like we were gonna lose Kachuk and the series. Kachuk is fine, and we won the game. What a turnaround! Yeah, it was. It was amazing. Brett Campbell in the house. Shout out to Bob. Dude was an animal last night. He played really, really well, and the guys in front of him also did their jobs, which helped them out big time. Although I gotta say, man, we watched the Vegas Open and we watch our Open, and we got to pick it up, bro." It's like everybody, right? All 29 teams would be like brought down. Nobody's going to live up to Vegas.
Yeah, it's almost like the Panthers said, "Look, we're going to keep ours, and let them, because if we try to spruce ours up, it's
right.
It's going to come off as
yeah. Although I'd rather have Marino than Wayne Newton. Although Marino, my brother, you had a quick release. You got to be quicker on the drums, my man. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Come on, Marino. I didn't see the quick release off the hammer, man.
He hasn't been working that core out lately. He looked a little difficult trying to bend around and turn around.
Yeah, man.
Although his body's probably.
We're all getting old, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm 57, so I know Danny's in his 60s.
And I didn't get hit.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Lisa Rose is in. Samuel Robina. John Dew. Got to be honest, when Chucky went down and Vegas went up 2-1, I fell asleep. Very happy I woke up to a win. I asked, how? The answer was Chucky. I can't blame you, John. It wasn't a fun watch last night. Really. Rosendo says, "Good Friday morning, Big O Nation. May this morning bring you the peace of mind you need to tackle any challenges that come your way. Have a blessed day." Thank you, Rosendo. As always, Big McD is in. J-Town, Fabian Festa, Isais, Brian Walters, Brian Landis, Nico Jones, Adam Pinkser. Enjoy the overtime dub last night, Big O. Way for the Cats to battle back. Amen. EJD is in the house. Yes, sir. EJDconstruction.com. Love it. Way to go, Eric. Did you get that stuff out of Binance? Everybody, get your money out of Binance. If in St. Augustine and going to the beach, go to Matanzas Inlet. Park on north end of the bridge. Okay. All right. No doubt we can check up on you now, right? Because if you're telling me in St. Augustine, go to the beach, go to Matanzas Inlet Park on the north end of the bridge, I can easily go, "Hey, Eddie Lep, is he saying the truth?" Because we got listeners all over the world. And by the way, don't be shy to tell us where you're listening from, because it's always cool to see where you guys are checking the show out. Moozy is in. Duck Dog is in. Let's see. The new subscriber mode is better. I have no idea what they're talking about. Is there something that changed on YouTube or something? I have no idea. R-Rod. Rick D-Man.
No, and Dougie told us about putting it on subscribers only. So you have to be a subscriber for a certain length of time before you can comment.
Oh, I see. That's what it is? Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, it eliminates you get less idiots. That's the beauty of it. We still get some idiots, of course. Like yesterday, these people started going after me well, you see the Dolphins are going to get him. And I go, well, I never said that the Dolphins wouldn't sign the guy. I just said they're not going to trade for him. They never did. And they're not going to sign him for big-time money. And they never will. That's all. I always said if he wanted to come here, he's going to have to take a smaller contract. I don't think he ends up coming here, actually. If he wants money, that's not where – he can't end up here. You know what I'm saying? So if he's looking for the big contract, and I get it, he's not going to get that here. But if he wants a team-friendly, Chris Greer, low-hanging fruit deal, then yeah. And all these guys, and so it's like this one guy who's just a troll all the time, and it's just like, yo, bro, just get out of here. You're done. Oh, I'm feeling those shades. Well, thank you, sir. Made a donation to autism. And so this was part of the donation. They give you the glasses. It was really more about the donation. You know, it's whatever. And I never thought of even wearing the glasses, to be quite honest. And then I got them, and I put them on just to screw around, and the polarized lenses are like, holy shit, these things are really good. And so I said, for fun, I'll wear them. What the hell, man? This is cool. Support autism. And at the same time, the polarized lenses are pretty good, man. So we'll take it. Nizzle is in the house. Let's see. Money in starting position. He should look at Denver. Yeah, that's probably where he should look. I mean, by the way, I don't mind he signs here. Load it up, baby. I don't care. But I have just told you from the get-go. By the way, you've noticed like national outlets and local people and all that, they've kind of gone to my side of the way that I've been reporting for months. Like they're now saying, well, yeah, the Dolphins are in, but yeah, the Dolphins aren't really going to go out of their way to sign him and all that. They're kind of like, they've all picked up on what I've been talking about for a while now. It's funny, man. It's really hilarious. Oh, man. I think Cook just wants to come home and play for a great team and coaching staff. I disagree with you. I think Cook wants to play here, but he wants to get paid. I disagree. I'm gonna be shocked, pleasantly shocked, if he signs here, because that means he took less money to come here. So I don't think that's what he's going to do. I really don't.
Let me ask you something, though.
Yeah.
Because you talked about it yesterday. I think it was with Omar. Actually, it was Wednesday with Omar, I believe it was Omar. The receivers. They're going to have to make some decisions there, probably.
Yeah.
With the way, especially with the way Robbie chose. Exactly, with injuries.
Right.
But now you add Dalvin Cook in with the running backs. Where do, I guess, like...
Well, Myles Gaskin is gone. He's not your fourth. Or Salvon Ahmed. I'm sorry. Salvon Ahmed is not your fourth anymore. Because Salvon Ahmed is going to make this team as the fourth guy, and Myles is probably the odd man out if you're working the Higgins thing.
If they're doing the tight end thing.
Yeah, if you're doing that offline.
That's another thing with the tight ends, right? Because you're going to have
you got the inline tight ends and you got the offline tight ends. I asked him about that yesterday, and he played it off beautifully. He says, well, they're all learning. And, that's where everybody I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, that's where everybody starts. And then we build. So he's trying to tell us, we'll put the offline guys there now, but they're going to have to learn how to block and all that. And it's just like, yeah, okay, dude, I get it. Yeah, so does Gesicki. So that's the thing that if Cook comes, it will definitely eliminate Ahmed.
Because I read, I think it was Omar was saying Ahmed might be able to make it as a special teams guy. But if you do that, then you're taking from where? Because you only have 53, right?
A-Chain does the special team stuff, so he's wrong. A-Chain's going to be your kick returner.
Yeah.
So
I think he meant more along the doing something
like a flyer,
I guess, maybe, or somewhere around there. Because he had said he didn't say as a returner. I don't believe in the article. I may have missed it, but he said the only way Ahmed, if Dalvin Cook did come, he would have to make it as on special teams.
Oh yeah, but
but would they even keep another? I guess what I'm saying is 5 running backs just because he's a special teams guy.
No, they have a fullback.
Right? Yeah,
they have a fullback. They can't do that. The math doesn't work. I disagree with Omar on that one.
There's just too many.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll ask Cam now. Let's do it. Let's get to our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins and NFL report. Let's unleash the Wolf Pack.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDTCPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
All right. There he is. How you feeling, my man? Good morning. You ready to hit the links?
I am. The weather gave us a good scare yesterday, but right now it looks pretty clear. So I'm gonna get out there and hit some balls.
No, it doesn't sound good.
Friday.
It doesn't sound good. You don't sound good right now. It sounds kind of it sounds.
I don't
muffly.
sound good.
No, you don't sound good. Let's disconnect and reconnect here and see if we can do something with Cam here, so we can get a clear Cam.
Okay, cool.
What do we got? What? Okay. All right. So do your thing. Let's see if we can reconnect with Cam and get a cleaner connection here with him on the show. Can you smell what the Finns are cooking? Special teams just got special with A-Chain. Yeah, he should be the kick returner and then Barrios the punt returner. That's kind of the way I see it. All right, we ready? Let's see. Let's bring him back. How you sound now? Say something.
Yeah, how do you hear me? Does it sound better now?
No.
Better at all?
No, it's just.
No.
No, there's just like it sounds like a rapid fired fart along with when you talk. Like there's a that goes with it, or so. It's weird. It's like a weird thing. Go ahead.
Hey, you're still hearing it right now?
Yes. Yeah.
That's weird.
Huh? Go ahead. Try one more time.
Yeah, can you hear me right now? How does this sound?
Yeah. It sounds bad. All right, let's hook up later on. See if maybe we're still on after you do your 9, and we can hook up later on. Okay. We'll talk down the line, my brother. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Appreciate it. Actually, it didn't sound good. That was the problem. But that was Cam Wolf. We'll get him back, and we'll get proper audio for you to go along with it. Obviously, the internet signal wherever he was getting interfered with, right? He might have been in a parking lot. You think his speaker was blown on his phone? Oh, I see. His earpieces. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad, so we will pass up on it for the moment, and then we'll try to catch up. Yeah, it did sound like rapid fire gas. I'm just saying, it just kind of sounded like that, What's up with all the dumb self-inflicted penalties? Brett, that was one of those things, except for the one at the end with Forsling. That was horse crap, that one right there. That guy, that was like a cheesy call on Forsling, but you are 1,000% right, Brett. There were a ton of just stupid ass penalties throughout the entire night. And it was head scratching. And they scored two times in those 6 power plays. So you opened up the door for them and you gave them opportunity after opportunity. And it was frustrating as hell, dude. I mean, who was it? Was it Montour or somebody who broke the guy's stick right in front of the crease? It was Montour? Was it somebody? Even Barkov had a stupid penalty, dude.
What's funny about the one that stick, the announcer guy, the hockey player, the analyst, was like, oh, guess they don't make sticks like they used to. He was like, that was a little bit. But he also said he egged them out by sliding his hands up. The Vegas player, by sliding his hands up, egged him on to hit him and to cause the penalty.
Right.
It's so amazing. I guess now that I'm watching hockey a little bit more and like
the nuances,
the little things that they do to like just
right,
the little peppers there and there just to try to get a penalty. It's
right. Yeah. I'm just interested to see who called me. Okay. It's like funny. Okay. It doesn't have a name. So it was probably nobody that is important, or it was somebody trying to sell me something. By the way, remember, if your corporation, your company wants to be a part of our platform and sponsor one of our insiders, Dolphins, Heat, Panthers, Canes, maybe Inter Miami now with Messi, 786-754-4664. Reach out to us. That's our business line, 786-754-4664. And of course, many, many reasons why we are here. And Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines is one of the reasons. Proud sponsors of our platform. We're out here at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And folks, the lot is loaded. We got brand new vehicles. We got certified pre-owned vehicles. We've got a large selection out here, so you can pick the car you want, the color you want, the style you want, the model you want, but more importantly, the price you want. So come on out here and visit all the great people, Larry Schlossberg and company, and tell them that Big O sent you here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. And by the way, please hit the like button. Very important you hit the like button while you're watching. Yes.
Just so you know, Cam's going to try to jump on in about 12 minutes.
Okay.
But he does have be off by 11.
Okay. Power play is still an issue. It's cap for life. A lot of what went on in that game is kind of what went on during the season. Okay? So if you watch the Panthers, they sucked on the power play throughout the season. They would commit stupid penalties throughout the season. You know, they were an up and down team until towards the end when you know, the Lion came in and roared for a couple of weeks, and they did enough to just sneak into the playoffs with a little help and everything. And then the rest is history. But a lot of the stuff that you saw go on last night is a lot of the stuff that we would watch throughout the regular season. I get that there's a lot of you that probably just got on the bandwagon and you're now really watching the Panthers. But if you watch them throughout the year, there was a lot of this shit go on throughout the year. This is why they weren't very good. You know, neither the Heat or the Panthers were very good throughout the regular season. Okay, they both were fortunate just to get into the playoffs. And then it's been just a magical ride. And I cap for life, I don't think they're going to fix the power play. It's too late now. You know, they kind of are what they are. What we have to hope for, cap for life, is that one of these nights, as the Eagles would say, one of these nights, we're hoping that one of these crazy old nights, right, that the puck is going to find its way inside the goal during a power play. That's it. That's what we got to hope. So it isn't going to be that they fixed it. It's just maybe one of these wacky nights, they score one or two power play goals, and you just say, okay, we're fortunate tonight. But maybe if you're gonna win this this Stanley Cup, you might need to have one of those nights where the power play actually works, you know? So Oscar Quintero says, come to Fort Myers, Cape Coral. We'd love to, bro. We'd love to. Let's get a sponsor to bring us out there, and we'll broadcast live from their place. Sean and I will get in the car and shoot over and do a midday show somewhere in the West Coast. Love to do it. Actually, there was a bar, a Dolphins bar, that reached out to me like 2 years ago when I was starting the podcast and starting the live show. Actually, it's a live show, and then we podcast it. It's really what it is. It's really not a podcast. It's really a live YouTube show that we podcast. But anyway, when we started it, actually, it was Bill that was with me on it. I remember there was a bar that reached out to me, and they wanted to bring us out there. So I don't know if they're still watching, if they still want to do it, but they can reach out to our business line at 786-754-4664. And that's the other thing. We will travel, man. So if your business wants to be part of our platform, we'll drive, we'll fly, we'll go to different places to do the broadcast, man. Why not? It'll be a lot of fun. Taking Bennett off the power play would improve it right away. I mean, at this point, I don't know what's going to improve it or not. I'm not smart enough, to be quite honest. Papa is out in Lehigh Acres. All right. What, every time I think of Lehigh Acres, you know what I think of now, right? I think of Laz and Cutler Ridge. Like, does anybody know what happened to Laz? Did he go to jail? Was he sentenced? I don't even know what's happened, man. I haven't heard anything of it. After that whole incident, I haven't heard a damn thing. He was a good dude, man. Good dude. Terrible moment. God. Man. And he took his animals seriously, so I don't know what the hell went on there that day. That was a bad day, but wow. Damn. That's what I always think of with Lehigh Acres. Knight, thank you for the love in the super chat. He says, we need to get you a beach resort sponsor. LOL. Yes. That would be good. I think a beach resort sponsor would be nice. We do this show on the beach, hang out there a couple days. Yep. No, not Laz of Power 96, bro. Not DJ Laz. Laz of Cutler Ridge, who was a avid listener here in South Florida. Used to call all the sports shows and all that. And he moved up to Lehigh Acres and had an incident. What was it? Maybe 2 years ago already? 3 years ago? Something like that. It's been a while now. Yeah. You know what? I think it was pre-pandemic, bro. So it might have been 4 years ago already at this point. What was that? It was March 5th, 2022? No, it was only a year ago? No. That doesn't make sense. That has to be a follow-up story or something. February 28th, when? That's when it happened? Really? It only happened a year ago? God, I thought it was longer. I thought it was actually before the pandemic. And that time had gone by so much already at this point. But anyway, so thank you for listening out there in Lehigh Acres, my brother. I appreciate you big time. Rude Awakening is in. Bennett had a great assist last night for the game-winning goal, though. Yes. I expect offense to get returned to form and be top 5, but what do you expect for the defense? Top 10? Brett, yeah, I do expect the top 10. With that secondary, yeah, and I expect Jalen Phillips to have a bust-out year. I really do, and I think that obviously on the other side, you traded for Bradley Chubb, and I think Chubb's going to get out of the club, and I think he's going to have a terrific year also. I think that secondary is going to help them out immensely. I love the yin and yang of that defense now. Just, Brett, we need health, bro. We need luck. We need the guys to stay healthy. What happened last year was ridiculous. The amount of injuries that the Dolphins suffered last year, that's what really hurt them. Obviously, the 201 too, but all the other ones just buried. That whole secondary was injured. We need some breaks down here, dude. We need a little luck. The Dolphins haven't had a lot of luck. Give us a little luck, please, football gods. Please. Just a little luck, man. As Paul McCartney would say. With a little luck. AEW should sponsor the show. I will talk to TK. There we go. That's it. I like it. Should sponsor your show. Sean and Frankie, they should sponsor your show. That would be cool. They can sponsor a segment inside this show, but they should sponsor your show. That's what we need. We need a title sponsor for the wrestling show. That's what we need. Last I heard about Laz, he was in Lee County Jail. Terrible situation for him and the other guy involved. No, he killed that person. That dude died. He didn't just stab him, he died. So, yeah. Papa says, that's funny. I moved from Cutler. So he also moved from Cutler Ridge. Cutler Ridge or Cutler Bay? He was in Cutler Ridge. Big O, that's Chico's a pimp. That Chico's a pimp. I don't know what that means. Big O, do you see Easy E being the odd man out of wide receivers this year? I don't know. You're asking me a question way too early in the game, my friend. I have to watch training camp in the preseason to see what kind of progress Easy E has made. Where is everybody else? You know, the Robbie the Chosen Anderson, or it's Robbie Chosen or Chosen Anderson. What is it? It's Robbie Chosen. It is Robbie Chosen. Okay. I got a story for you, by the way. I can't tell it on the air. Anyway, Robbie Chosen, it's a great story right now. Okay. And I know that Omar Kelly has got the pom-poms on and he's leading the charge and all of that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I would say about Robbie Chosen is I would tell everybody, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Okay. He hasn't gone through any adversity here so far. Everybody else isn't playing. And so once Braxton Berrios gets into the mix and then everybody else starts playing and starts getting reps, and then we start seeing the difference between Robbie and Azukama and everything else that's going to go on, then we can then make a determination. Okay. And then we're going to see the moments where Robbie doesn't get as much reps as somebody else. And how does he handle it? Because the one thing that you can't, if you don't know anything about the history of Robbie Anderson, maybe you should Google it. Okay. He's had his share of issues of maturity and things like that. So he also not only, see, Robbie has less to prove that he can play and more to prove that he can be a professional. So before you're so quick to hand him a job, he has to also show you that he has learned a certain level of professionalism while he's here. And so far, he hasn't been here long enough yet. Okay. So let's wait till we get to training camp and the preseason, and then we'll find out days where he has bad days, days where he is getting, handled by one of the corners, days where he doesn't get as much reps as somebody else. And how does he handle all of that? And there's going to be those tests because the coaches are going to want to test him that way too. Because they're going to want to F with you a little bit to see if any of your old habits continue to come out. So it's really early for us to determine the value of the back end of the wide receivers. We know the front end guys. Okay? We know those guys. But it's the back end guys. And then, you have Cedric Wilson, who's going to be on this roster because of the salary. They have no choice. And if Cedric is tearing it up and feeling comfortable this second year in the system and all of that, and he looks better than Chosen, and he is bigger and thicker player than Chosen, what do you do at that point? Azukama, bigger, thicker player than Chosen. All three tall receivers, but the body builds are completely different for two of the guys compared to Robbie. So it's really hard to make that determination right now. I need information, and I don't have it in a couple of mini camps, So we just got to be a little patient with it. Let's see. What else do we have? It's a Dolphins year coming up, bro. I hope so, Dolphin Dan. I hope so, man. It would be nice. Dallas was close to a deal with for Cook. Dallas makes sense because Pollard is terrific, but he's also has an injury history. And then Denver makes a lot of sense. I know that they went and signed Frank Smith, but they can create cap space, with somebody else, especially with Russell Wilson. If they want to create a little bit of cap space, they can do that. So there are better options for Dalvin if he wants more money and more touches. If he wants to be a rotation and give a team discount, which somebody said, I think he's going to give a team. I don't think so. I don't think he's out to give a hometown discount, but we'll see.
I think he might go to the Cowboys.
Cowboys or Denver make a lot of sense. Why? What happened now?
They have $12 million to work with.
Yeah, and
I'm just saying money wise. I'm
and
saying,
they're,
and
and they're
again,
stupid.
as you said though, Denver can work the cap space, so that's money doesn't really
No,
affect a lot with
right.
cap space there. But
Right.
Cowboys have 12 million they can just throw at them.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and they have a need. They have a need because really it's only Pollard there. So yeah, that one makes sense also. And that for him, he gets to go to the Cowboys and all the fanfare and all that stuff. That'll be cool. But I'm telling you, unless he wants to come here for a serious haircut, forget it, bro. Forget it. You're done. I've been telling you this for a while now. I'm the only one in the media that has told you this for months now. Because I think it's been about a couple months now, right? That we've been at this silliness. It feels like a half a year. But it's a couple months. Damn, Big O, those might be the funkiest shades you've ever worn. Even Elton John is jealous. LOL. Well, support autism, baby. They're not a joke, by the way. These glasses are from a donation to autism. So this is the logo, the emblem that autism uses. So it's trying to spread a little love and a little awareness too, because that has affected many of us, right? If Cook becomes a Dolphin this season, this will be the best wide receiver running back trio in the NFL. Name a better one. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he goes to the Bills, fins up. They don't have a lot of money, and they have to sign guys and all that. It's like Miami. Miami can create the money, but what people don't realize is that they need money to kind of sign. Now it's Connor, which I didn't even think Connor would be this offseason. I thought it was more Wilkins and Sealer, and boy, was I wrong on that. I thought, they'll take care of Connor at the back end of the year in the offseason. They can tag him, they can control him, and he and his agent are not going to have any of that. They want their contract now. So it's kind of crazy, man. Dolphins need a Kachuk. We got one. We got a couple. Tyreek Hill's a Kachuk. I think Tua's going to be a Kachuk. I think Christian Wilkins is a Kachuk. I think Javon Holland is a Kachuk. I think Jalen Ramsey and a healthy X are Kachucks. There's a bunch of, really awesome players on this team. Phillips, I think, will become a Kachuk this year. I don't know, man. I got to tell you, when Armstead's playing, that's Kachuk-like for that offensive line, man. Huge. I don't know. I think we got a few of those, man. The Heat need another Kachuk. They only got one of them in Jimmy Butler. They need another. So we need high snap Williams. Heat and Nuggets tonight at the Kaseya Center. Nuggets are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 210.5. Nuggets minus 165 on the money line. The Heat plus 140. Denver leads the series 2-0. As you all know, this is a must-win scenario tonight. There's no other way to slice it. They cannot go down 3-1 to the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are better. They have two stars, real stars. Miami has one broken star. And they've got to come up with the miracle of all miracles to try to come up with a victory tonight. This one is just like the Panthers last night in a must-win situation. They came through. And then tomorrow night, the Panthers will be in the same position. They have no choice but to come through. They cannot lose tomorrow night and go down 3-1, just like Miami Heat cannot afford to go down 3-1. We attempt to release the Wolfpack one more time.
We unleash the Wolfpack. As we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
Oh,
Right,
what's going
Cam?
on?
All right. Oh, you sound much better.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
See,
go.
now you sound pretty, just like you
Okay.
are. There you go.
All right. Well, I wouldn't say I'm all that. I'm probably a good 7.5 out of 10, but I'll take pretty.
You're an 11 out of 10. We
I'll
all
take
know.
it.
We all
I'll
know.
take it.
We all know it. We
I'll
all know.
take it. Yeah,
Uh,
it must have been the car. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, shit happens, bro. It's cell phones are not they're still not perfected. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. You know me, bro. We roll, we adjust, and we move on. No big deal. Listen, I'm sticking to my guns like I've said for months. Okay, unless he wants to take a serious hometown haircut here, forget about it, bro. But if he wants big ass money and long ass hair, it ain't going to happen here, okay? And as I said for months, they're not trading for him. They didn't trade for him. As I said for months, they're not paying a high salary, and it's not going to happen. Okay, so now let's play this silly hypothetical game. If he does come here and he does want to take a team-friendly deal,
Yep.
Ahmed does not make the team anymore, right? It's him with Wilson, Mostert, and A-Chain, and that's it. Because of the fullback, because of the Higgins and Tanner Connor experiment, that takes up a spot there. And A-Chain can handle kickoffs, and Berrios can handle punt returns. So this would, if you're Ahmed right now, you don't want Dalvin Cook here, correct?
Yeah. I mean, the reality is some of this is business. You got Raheem Mostert, you got Jeff Wilson. Both of those guys have money on their deals. And so you unless you're trading one of those dudes, they're going to be on the roster.
Right.
A-Chain, you drafted in the third round.
Yeah.
And he looked good. He's going to be on the roster. And obviously, if you bring Cook in, he's going to be the roster. That's 4 running backs and a fullback, like you mentioned. And teams, maybe they try to figure out a way to bring 5. But the other issue is when you start to have that many backs, you start to ask how many of these guys are going to contribute on special teams. And historically, Mostert and Wilson have not been big special teams guys. A-Chain is smaller. Maybe he does a little bit in special teams.
My prediction is he's the kick returner. But go ahead.
Well, the kick return has been taken out of football almost these days, so I don't know how much reps he gets there.
That's the beauty of it. He won't be suffering any injuries.
Right. And so maybe that is his role. Maybe Braxton Berrios is just the punt returner instead of
guaranteed.
And A-Chain's the kick returner. But you need some guys to play special teams. In-goal plays some special teams. But that's why it's tough to keep 5 backs. Like Ahmed is not a huge special teams guy. He played more last year. But he's just not a huge part of his game. And so, a Cook signing probably would mark the end of both Ahmed and Myles Gaskin.
You don't think he signs here either, right?
I don't know if I would say I don't think so, but I don't know if this is much of a given as Dolphins fans would want it to be. I'm with you. I think that money's going to play, it's going to be interesting to see how much money plays a factor. Because
Dalvin, 29, bro. He's 29. He's going to
because Dalvin obviously wants to be here. I mean, he is not making it any secret. He's making these social posts. He's told people around him he wants to be in Miami. So if everything's even or even close, I think he goes to Miami. If Miami's offering him $4 or $5 million and another team's offering him $5 or $6 million, I think he probably would choose Miami in that situation. But if Miami's offering him $3.5 million and some other team is offering him $8 million, I still find it hard to believe he's going to pass up, multiple millions to play here. And so that to me is going to be the question. What are the other offers? The running back position has been very much depressed. And so he was set to make about $11 million in Minnesota. I do not think he's going to get that number. And I really don't know if he gets close to. I think maybe $8 million would be a number I think he should be, probably satisfied with given the running back market. So, Denver's been floated out there. The Jets have been floated out there. Obviously, Miami's a big name in that.
Dallas. Dallas makes sense.
But here's the thing about Dallas. Dallas is paying Tony Pollard the 5th-year option, which is about $11 million. And the reason they got rid of Zeke, partially because he was declining, but partially because they didn't want to pay two backs, a combined nearly $20 million.
Zeke is a shell of what he was, so why keep him where Dalvin and Pollard is injury prone? Pollard has an injury history, so they don't have really another two back. So if you bring in Dalvin, I got to tell you something. For that quarterback, you better have some running backs for him, bro.
Yeah.
He's not that guy that he's not the dude that, if the running game isn't working, don't worry about it. I'm going to carry you all the way. That's not who Dak is. He hasn't proven to be that guy.
Yeah. And I'm with you. I have a lot of questions about whether Tony Pollard can carry the load themselves. But I'm just telling you kind of their thought process.
No, I got you.
Yeah, but trust me, Dalvin Cook feels like a Jerry move. Jerry loves the big name splash, and so Dalvin Cook does feel like a Jerry move, even though it would be contrary to some of the moves they've made this offseason.
And Sean just told us that they have $12 million of cap space.
Yeah, it makes sense. And Dallas, like Florida, is a no state tax state, and so those guys get we don't talk about that a lot, but that's a priority. You look at all the Florida teams, all the Texas teams, the Titans in Nashville, and the Raiders in Vegas. Those are the 4 teams that have the non-state taxes, and so that may make a difference. That gives you extra $500,000, maybe extra $1 million on that salary.
What do you hear about the Connor Williams negotiations?
I haven't heard much of it. I think right now it's a little bit of a standoff. Mike McDaniel said they have had communication, so it's not like there's we haven't talked to him in X amount of weeks type thing. But clearly, Connor's trying to make a point. He's trying to make a stance. He clearly feels like his side is not being heard or felt in negotiations. I don't know if the Dolphins have made any offer or if they're just telling him to play it out. But right now, Connor is trying to draw a line in the sand. Now, the big question comes in training camp. Is he still drawing that line in the sand and really willing to miss days and more fines? Or is this more of a, hey, let's try to do this summer and hopefully we have something done before our report? I think about 2 years ago, and it's not exactly the same situation because I think X was a little bit more proven, but Xavier had a similar deal where eventually he wrote a letter and asked for a trade, and then he kind of held in where he came to camp, but said he had a little hamstring injury, and that lingered for like a week or so, and then they gave him kind of the sweetener. I don't know if the result's the same for Connor Williams, but I'm guessing that's probably his hope that he can hold it out enough that they say, hey, let's just give this guy something to make him happy for this year, and let's figure out an extension next year.
I'd love to ask you, so what do you think about the people that filled in for him? But I just, I can't take the inside guys at this point. I can't measure those guys. I can't judge people when you're really not padded up and really hitting. You know what I mean? But I will say this. I didn't see any real in fact, wait a minute. I don't remember a bad snap.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't say I saw every single snap. Right. But I want to say I didn't see any go over anybody's heads or under their feet or anything like that. All the snaps were pretty much on target. So whoever filled in, including Eichenberg, actually did a half decent job snapping the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm with you. I didn't see any snap issues either. And I'll tell you what, when you move your, let's just call it your left guard to center, if that's the case, you wonder how that's going to transition, right? And I will say I saw some feistiness, and I like that. And I like that for that player regardless. You're thinking about a young player who has been injured, who hadn't really shown his full potential. He's showing some feistiness and getting in a little bit of scraps.
Raekwon?
With Raekwon Davis. Yeah, with Raekwon Davis and whatnot. And so I like that. Whether he's at left guard or center or wherever he ends up, I like that out of him. So I do think this team needs Connor Williams. But, you find out a little bit about your roster when you get placed in situations like this.
I screwed up. I thought that they would do Connor like towards the end of the year, right at the beginning of the off season, but I silly me. He's going into the final year of his contract. Nobody wants to deal with that.
Yeah,
No players. So I don't blame him for doing this. I
and
really
the reality is, let's call it what it is with Connor. And I'm gonna keep it really real with you. Connor had some struggles early in his career in Dallas. He hadn't been the player that maybe some people thought he would be early in his career. And so when he signed with Miami, it was a little bit more of we're taking a chance on a guy who hasn't necessarily fulfilled everything. And we're also switching positions. And so he had a year probably that exceeded even the Dolphins' expectation. And so he's like, well, now let me get my up, because the reality is there's no guarantee he has that same season this year. There's no guarantee that that's who he is. So if he's the smart man that I'm sure he is, his agent is smart man, you want to get that security and take advantage of the situation of, hey, I played like a top 12 center last year, and so I need to get paid like one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Your thoughts on Tua this week? What'd you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, I will say the last session we saw from him on, what was that, Thursday, yesterday, was probably the worst I've seen him all off season. And it wasn't awful. Like there was, the defense won the day, absolutely. And I would say the defense won most of the week, which is not a surprise.
That first interception had nothing to do with him. The X went over the top of the receiver. The receiver the receiver didn't run hard enough to get to that ball. He should have.
I hear you, man. But all touchdowns end up on the quarterback's stat line, and all the interceptions do too. So I get you. There's context there that's important, but Tua goes down with the 2 interceptions. Mike White goes down with his 2 interceptions. Skylar goes down with his 1. So, but I'm with you. You're right. And I honestly, it's a practice. This is where you try to work out different things. And
what I loved about that play was the explosion of X.
Yeah,
he could not do that last year.
Yeah,
that's to me what stood out of that play. One, the receiver, which was Braylon Sanders.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got to run that with more conviction. I was sitting there with OJ talking about this, and McDuffie says you got to be a DB there. If you don't think you can get there to catch it, at least you could get there to knock it down. Because if the DB went over the top on you to get it, then you're underneath. You have the quicker route to it. And so he also saw the same thing I did. But to me, the exciting part was, hell, X doesn't even do this shit.
Yeah. I'm telling you, watch out for X this year.
Great,
watch out for X this year. I think he's gonna bounce back and have one of those years that he's known for. He's got an elite corner on the opposite side. He's healthy. His mind's in the right spot. He's in a scheme that's not gonna have him run man coverage and follow receivers across the formation 90% of the snaps. And so I'm feeling a X 5, 6, 7 interception season coming. And he's going to make it real hard on the Dolphins to decide what to do with them contract-wise next year. And so I think X is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of Vic Fangio and Jalen Ramsey.
I'm with you there. All right, one more thing before I let you go. The battle at number 2, way too early to say anything, but I kind of like Skylar right now. That's just me.
So Skylar has been the better player this offseason. It is what it is. It's only a month and a half of work, but every time I've been out there, I think I've been out there every day they practice, honestly. And Skylar has looked like the better, more accurate player pretty much every day. Now it's only June. Skylar has been in the system before. Mike White hasn't. And so Skylar's got a little bit of advantage for that. And so I'm going to give him time and see how it looks in training camp and also in preseason games, because there are players, and I'm not sure if Mike White is one of them, but there are players who are better gamers than practice players. We know those guys. And so I don't know what Mike White falls into, but he can go into a preseason game and ball out compared to Skylar. The other thing is Mike White's going to have the benefit of the doubt. He was signed to be the backup. He's making $4.5 million guaranteed. And so he's not, it doesn't mean that he can do anything and be the backup. But if it's even, or even if it's close, it's probably going to be Mike White. But right now, I don't know that it's been even or close. And so if it looks like this in training camp, if it looks like this in preseason, then I'm with you. I think Skylar has to be the guy. That's number 2.
He made some of the best throws this week, actually. So I give him credit. That skinny post he threw in the second day was really nice, and the inside shoulder he threw in the end zone I thought that was outstanding because that takes that takes anticipatory skills. And dude, he showed it to me. One more thing before I let you go. I Got Game New Jersey says Miami has not had a 1,000-yard rusher in 7 years. We need a real running back. And so, is that true? Do you need 1,000? Because I'm looking. Who won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I can't even.
Right.
Who was
and Isaiah Pacheco had 830 yards, and Mostert had 900.
Yeah.
I think we tend to, as we get older, we kind of have to lose our habits. The game is not about the ground game; it's about the pass game. The ground game is there to complement, and they're doing the right thing. Use multiple backs, just like Kansas City, and because that's how you got to attack people. The bell cow thing, like Derrick Henry, that shit's come and gone, bro.
Yeah, we're seeing in the values of running backs what they're getting paid. They're valued more in volume than in quality. And so I do think you'll see San Francisco has done this for a while, but 3 or 4 different backs attacking the Cook. Even if it is Cook, like I've made a pun there, but even if it is Cook that's bringing in here and he's in the lead back, I don't know that he is a 250 plus carry guy. I think that you work him in. Last year is a great example. Raheem was the leading back, but Wilson, once he came in, was essentially even with him in touches. Imagine that now split at least with 3, because A-Chain is going to get some touches. And if Cook's here, then it's split with 4. And so I don't know that you have a 1,000-yard back, whether Cook is on this team or not. Now, 1,000 yards combined, yes, because Raheem, people don't realize this, Raheem had over 1,000 yards combined as a rusher and a receiver. But just 1,000 yards rushing with one back, I don't know if that needs to be a reality for this team.
And by the way, the only reason San Francisco invested in big in the back, it's because they weren't paying quarterbacks.
Right. But I'm talking about the old.
No, but I'm just saying, in their case, if not, they would be doing the same thing Miami's doing. They would have 3-4 backs like they normally do. They only went to this McCaffrey kid because they're not paying quarterbacks, so they have a lot of extra money.
And McCaffrey's different. Like McCaffrey's one of those rare backs, kind of like Alvin Kamara was when he was fully healthy. How Bijan is going to be used in Atlanta, where you're going to be just as much a running back as your number 2 or number 3 receiver on a team. And so you're playing essentially a receiver and a running back in one body. And so that makes it a little bit more, hey, we'll pay this guy 15 to 18 million. Because we pay our number 2 receiver, 12 to 15 million anyway. And so that's probably a lot of the thinking.
You got it. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf and enjoy the links, my brother. Hit them straight. Be good out there.
The Heat win tonight. All right.
They have to win tonight.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You got it. Let's hope so, man. Oh, baby. All right. KSDT CPAs. Listen, folks, if you own a business and you're going to need help in so many different areas, from healthcare to payroll to planning to savings, you name it, KSDT can help your business, evaluating your business, what it's worth, all those kind of things. KSDT does all of that. And, of course, they do your taxes, the personal business. Use that QR code that's right there on the screen. If you're listening on the podcast, call them 305-670-3370. Go to ksdtcpas.com and tell them that Big O sent you.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
I tell you guys all the time about Cutter's Edge Pro, man, and what they did with our backyard and made it a pure oasis. That's our Sylvester tree right there on a beautiful day, providing a ton of sunshine. We've got one exactly like this out in the front yard, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's Bono hanging around on the artificial turf. What's up, Bono? What's the word, baby? There you go, wagging that little tail.
Maiden, there she is. Ziggy. How you doing, Ziggy? There you go. So we got the doggies hanging out. So just want to give you a little, we got some of the trees starting off from this way with the artificial turf. You see, there's Ziggy again, of course. Got it all the way. And look, we got some flowers coming out. That tree now will start to also spring, and it's absolutely beautiful too. So got all that. They can do all kinds of things for you in your backyard to kind of make it an oasis, which is what we've done. And obviously the dogs can play. What's up, Bono? I got him there hanging out. Maiden. There she is. There she is. The one and only. She's mean as a skunk, by the way. Just want you to know. She's awesome with us, but I mean, if you're a stranger, you don't want to meet Maiden. So as you can see, and then the artificial turf, remember, there's no watering. There's no cutting the grass. It looks fabulous like this the entire time. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. Back here in this corner is where we put the barbecue. I wheel it out, cook, then I wheel it back in. See, looks beautiful, doesn't it? Flowers are coming out. It's awesome. And then when I want to play a little golf, there's my putting green down the side, which is a beautiful thing. There's one of the holes all the way to the other side where Bono is at. All lights up. It's really beautiful when it lights up. See, we got the rough. Got several. Got one on that side. Got one over there in the corner where Bono's leaving. Got rough all over the place, man. Just in case, you get the ball trapped in there. That's it. That's another swing. Right, Maiden? So, check it out, cuttersedgepro.com. Make your home an oasis. Make your business, your HOA complex, condominium, you name it, they got you, bro. They do it all. All right? They can cut your trees down, and the artificial turf, I swear by it. Really easy to maintain, and it looks just absolutely freaking beautiful. Cutter's Edge Pro. Right, Ziggy?
Your home for everything Heat.
They stand eye to eye with history, and they did not blink. The Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
Panthers.
The Florida Panthers are heading to the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Big O Radio Show goes deep on playoff coverage.
We don't care what the rest of the world is saying. We don't care who's criticizing who. You got to line up between these four lines, and let's figure this out.
The Big O Radio Show. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. We are back here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, the finest dealership in the business. Come on out here, man. Come on by. They got a great deal for you. Got our certified pre-owned vehicles, 15601 Pines Boulevard, right here off of Pembroke Pines and I-75. And if you own or lease an Acura, you can also get it serviced here. Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber do an awesome, awesome job. All right. Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love in the super chat, Frankie, man. Very nice of you. Oh, the Saudis are investing a lot in soccer and golf. Can you ever see them getting their hands into football or basketball and threaten the NFL or NBA? I think anything is possible. I don't know about threatening, but they can own a team. There's salary caps. So it's not like you can, really do much. Although in basketball, they could pay, they'll pay the taxes. They won't give a shit. They'll pay a luxury tax. They don't care. Look at the Warriors. They paid an enormous amount of luxury tax over the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Some owners will do that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's possible. Maybe if you go to Europe and expand in the NFL, they become one of the owners of one of the European teams. Who knows? I think anything is possible. And by the way, isn't Shad Khan from an Arab country? Where is Shad Khan from? Sorry that I'm using the name, but I think that name is it might be Arabic. Somewhere in the Middle East. Huh? Pakistani. There you go. You already have it in the NFL. And in wrestling, Frankie. So you left out wrestling, by the way. He left out wrestling with the Saudis. They're already there. Right. Well, Khan.
He's more Pakistani American, whereas it's not like.
I get it,
the,
but
the problem with
I get it. You're getting going full blown.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, I think
the
issue becomes what I believe was the deciding factor with the whole thing with WWE. Will anybody in the U.S. give them TV?
Right.
If you own a team, it's different. But if you start owning the leagues now,
right?
I mean, you look at Live Golf. They got on, what was it, My 33 or UPN or one of those channels was showing it. Like one of the.
Oh, they were.
My 33 showed some of the events.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or something like that.
Okay.
So, or no, CW. It was CW. But none of the, they're not on NBC. But now
that's funny.
They were
probably paying to be on.
Probably.
Instead of
they were probably buying the time.
Instead of them buying rights fees from television, they were probably buying the time.
And that's probably what they would have to do. They probably wouldn't care either way, but they'd probably have to buy time is what they'd probably have to do if they purchased at least, again, money talks. So depending on what it is, I mean.
Damn. That oil business pays off, bro. Big time. Knight, thank you for the love on the super chat. Mostert was a broken thumb from the 1,000 yards, probably. But it's not necessity. You just got to have an effective running game and have a rotation of backs. So I have no problem. If you get one that has 1,000 yards, great, fantastic, 1,500 yards, awesome. But if you have, 3 backs and they're all getting 600 to 800 yards, then that's fantastic too, man. So I'm all right with that. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to actually win. That's it. But when when that one guy put in we haven't had 1,000 and that's needed. No, not really. And I thought of Kansas City right away, and I said, let me pull up the Kansas City stats. And I kind of was sure that nobody in Kansas City got 1,000 yards, and I was right. Pacheco didn't even get 1,000, and he was terrific. So, what else do we have on the chat board here? Well, you guys are going back and forth. Big O was saying we technically did have a 1,000-yard backline. Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying because of Mostert and the injury. Yeah, but it's not really needed. It's not this number that you have to track nowadays. And if you have a carousel of backs, it's going to be hard for a guy to hit 1,000. Because you're using everybody. I like so far the 3 backs that they put together. And I got to tell you something, dude. Salvon Ahmed, God bless that young man. He was always ready last year. Whenever you called on his name, he was productive as hell, man. I have no issues with Salvon Ahmed. I keep telling. It's the same thing I've told Omar. It's not about getting another back. It's about improving the left guard and the right tackle. I've told a lot of you that too. It's not so much, we got to have Dalvin. No, dude, we got to have a left guard and a right tackle. That's what we got to have. If you get a left guard and a right tackle, and then the other three positions are super solid, then all of a sudden you got yourself one hell of a line, and it doesn't matter who's running the ball. You're going to be effective. Well, as much as people talk about getting this back or adding Dalvin Cook or we need 1,000-yard or a 1,500-yard back, no, what you need is a great offensive line. Because that way Tua can do all his work, and then the running backs can just tear it up, man. Yes, sir.
You're just talking about Ezekiel Elliott a minute ago?
Yeah.
With Cam?
Mm-hmm.
Robert Salah on potential of adding Ezekiel Elliott. We love our running back room. Next question. Robert Salah on potentially adding Dalvin Cook. Obviously, we'll turn the stones over on that one.
Oh, there you go. That makes all the sense in the world. That's why I said Dallas also makes sense for Dalvin when I told Cam that, because, yeah, I get it, bro, that they signed Pollard, but they don't have a plethora of backs, and you need several backs. And I didn't know they had that much money under the cap. $12 million is a lot of money at this point.
Well, they actually have $16 million, but they're saying $4 million is going to be needed for the rookies to signings. Yes, so
right.
Put it to 12.
Okay, so that makes sense. So 12, they have plenty of money to give Dalvin Cook a $6-7 million deal plus incentives. And that way he has a chance to get to 7 or 8 or something like that, 9. So, yeah, something like that. That would make a lot of sense. Brandon McNeil, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. That is very nice of you. Extend Williams, excited for this year. Go Fins. Yeah, they will. I'm not worried about the Connor Williams thing. That'll all work out. They need him to protect Tua, bro. You just don't replace that center. You know what I'm saying? Okay. What else do we have here? By the way, remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. By the way, Hateful Steve, thank you. Yesterday he sent in. He says refs must be using DraftKings on the hockey game last night. That call on Forsling at the end, that one bothered me. Liam Eichenberg wore an orange jersey. Yep. Well, like I told you, I didn't see a bad snap. I am not going to judge blocking in shells. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. They're not really going all out, no matter what anybody tells you. You know, because I know I sit there with my other medium brethren, and they're, you know, oh yeah, he had a block on the, that was a good run, and oh yeah, he got beat for the sack, and I just kind of, the inside play for me is just, no, man. There's not enough context there for me to tell you that I'm worried or I'm happy about something. I can't tell you good or bad. It's not fair to you. It's bad information. It's not complete information. And then you go off and running. Like, you know, Omar yesterday in one of his tweets, he put out a couple of highlight lowlights and Tua threw 2 interceptions. And then because he's such a lightning rod, people are going to be trashing Tua. And that's not right on Omar's part to do that. He should not do that. You got to put context. Neither one of the interceptions were his fault. One was joking around, screwing off. The second one, that one was like they were screwing off. You could see it. And then the first one was Braylon Sanders, like, didn't do his job. So, and then, you know, you see that, Tua sucked. He threw 2 interceptions. No, dude, he didn't suck, actually. Wasn't on him. Ezekiel Elliott looks like he ate Jumbo Elliott. Really? He's big? Well, Pakistan's what, more Europe than Middle East, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, you're right. Big O, you need a course in geography. You're right. Liam Eichenberg wore an orange jersey. I got that. Mikey, we failed because Mike didn't run the ball. Yes, that is true. And he admitted it. That's right. Big O, I'm in Guadalajara, Mexico, and I need to tell you this is my favorite YouTube program. Thank you for all the great info, and go Fins. Thank you. Thank you, Leobardo. Appreciate you. I was going to go to Mexico next year, but we got people like kidnapping people over there, bro. I want to go see Metallica in Mexico. I was looking forward to that, man. I think Greer can play the game and give Cook a very incentive deal. Even with Cook, I don't see any running backs getting over 1K. For example, extra $2 million for making Pro Bowl. Well, you're not going to make the Pro Bowl if you don't have the big stats, Brett. So if you don't have them going over 1,000, then they're not going to be scoring a ton of touchdowns. So if they don't have a ton of yards and don't have a ton of touchdowns, they're not going to make the Pro Bowl. So they're not going to make their incentives. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's one of those. He has to want to get a cheap contract here. If he doesn't want to take a cheap deal, I just don't know how it happens. I wonder what's taking so long to sign Cam Smith. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. That's all language crap. That'll get done. Yeah, it's more South Asia. I got you. Big O here. Raekwon is playing. Let's wait for full pads and hitting and preseason and then I'll tell you what I see from Raekwon. Let me see what the season comes. Let me see what he does during the season because he's starting and he's going to be one of the top players on the D line. So he's going to get all the playing time anyways. You know what I'm saying? But still, I have to see it with full pads, man. I'm not here to, blow smoke up Raekwon's ass in a June practice in shells. Can't do it, bro. Can't do it. I need to see more from Raekwon in games. So, Drago wants to continue here. Pakistan was divided by India, hence Asia. There you go. Big O, the spirit of Neil is with you. You are the live voice of SoFlo. Thank you, sir. I doubt he's with me. He was at another level, my man. Neil Rogers was just at a completely other level that none of us will ever achieve. That's all I can tell you. That was a talent on its own. They broke the mold after they made that dude. I like that Liam is fighting tooth and nail, makes you kind of want to root for him. Then I remember it's Liam. So then you don't root for him? Don't you root for him because he's a Dolphin player? Don't you root for him because you're better as a team if he succeeds? You realize that, right? If Liam Eichenberg succeeds, your team succeeds. So I know this. What happens if Liam Eichenberg and Austin Jackson actually succeed? What will the Chris Greer haters do with themselves?
There's always the go-to.
What, Noah?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, God. I wasn't impressed with him at all these last couple of days. Very little, bro. There was one play he made, but overall, he doesn't have it, bro. He cannot make the transition. He was a receiver, right? And then they made him a corner. Is that what he was?
Yeah, he's corners, I think, his senior season.
Right, yeah. And he just, the instincts are just not there. They're not there.
So what did Auburn do then? Make the defense to where it was dumb it down for him? So he was
he
looked good playing there, and now
you're playing in college. These guys know how to run routes here. These guys know how to set you up. The quarterback knows how to set you up.
Yeah, that's the big difference. The quarterback.
There's a whole mental game at this level.
I mean, he did play in the SEC against but I guess Alabama would be Auburn, Alabama, LSU maybe. would be the other.
Yeah.
You know,
but he's only going to run into a couple of guys that can run faster than him throughout the season. So if he can just hold up with one or two guys, plus you're not playing an NFL quarterback, you're playing a college quarterback. So everything has been dumbed down for you. So your talent is able to survive there and be serviceable. But when you get to the NFL level, brother, everybody can ball. Everybody's smart. Everybody's prepared. Everybody's a pro. And it's not that Noah's not a pro, and it's not that he doesn't work hard. It's just he doesn't get it. It doesn't translate ever. You know? So, but still, it's even if you get the Austin and Liam, dude, he's hit on so many picks compared to what he's missed. You know, it's just ridiculous at this point. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. So how can he be doing a bad job? You know,
they could go undefeated, win the Super Bowl, and you're going to have fans out there find something.
Simple question: is Cook a top 5 running back in the NFL? I don't know. I'd have to look around the NFL. He's close. He's close. He's in the top 10, I would say. I don't know about top 5. Let me go through the NFL. Well, we'll go with Derrick Henry already won, right? Okay. Do you want Christian McCaffrey or him? They both are injury prone. Okay. I don't know about Pacheco not over Dalvin Cook, not yet. The Colts kid was on his way until he got broken down last year, right? Trying to think of the guys around the league that for sure might be close to top 5, man. Now that I think about it, might be pretty close. Do you take Saquon over him? Do you take Aaron Jones? Has been incredibly productive. You take him over him? Yeah, I said the Colts kid, but the problem is last year he doesn't have the career that Cook has had. He's only been in the league a few years, and then last year it was an injury-prone year. So does he lose any juice because of that?
This is just going off a list, just because I wanted to see what running back names they had.
Mm-hmm.
It goes Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry.
Oh, I'd take Chubb over him because he's durable also. He's a horse.
Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor,
Okay.
Saquon Barkley, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard.
No, I wouldn't put Tony Pollard in front of him.
Austin Eckler, then Dalvin Cook.
I wouldn't put Austin Eckler or Tony Pollard. I like that list. I'd put him right behind all those guys and put him in front of those two guys that I said.
And then they threw Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker.
Breece Hall is a baby.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara.
You know, 4 years from now, I'd take Breece Hall in a heartbeat because he's probably going to kick ass. He's a good player, a hell of a player, bro. Hell of a player, for sure. So he's right in the top 10, not top 5, let's say. You know. But again, you're not going to be a workhorse. You're only going to be, one of the guys. That's the whole thing. Big O, I know it's been talked about. Josh Allen on Madden cover. That's awesome. It's fantastic. Good for him. What I really want to see is Josh Allen run the ball a lot. That's what I want to see. By the way, Mike Kliss, my buddy who covers Denver, he said that he isn't hearing that they are interested in Dalvin Cook, by the way. I saw that last night, that he posted that. Who's going to Canada? Phil Neville? What Canadian team is hiring him? Oh, the Canadian. Oh, okay. National team. Okay, good for him. Good for him. All right. He's a good dude, bro. He handled everything with class. Can't complain. Knight, thank you for the love in the super chat. Chubb, Henry, CMC, Kamara, Barkley. Although, do we still put Kamara there? Because he's had, kind of the injuries and a setback now. But he is so good. God. Big O, we passed on Taylor for Egbo. Yeah, whatever. I don't. To me, all that stuff is silly. They've done a really good job overall. They pick better than anybody else we've had in the last 30 years. They do better drafting overall. Okay? So to me, that's all that matters. They do a better job in the front office and in drafting than everybody we've had since Shula. Okay? And I know some of you will bring up Jimmy Johnson because he built up the defense. Jimmy Johnson was terrible, dude. He built up that defense and he did nothing else. He was so bad on offense and he destroyed the offense under Marino. He is as overrated down here as it gets. Okay? What he did in Dallas saves his ass. Chris Greer in this front office is better than anything we've had here in well over 30 years. And that's what people don't seem to understand. So that's where I kind of look at it. I look at it a little different. Yes. What do we got?
Well, I know soccer's not, the thing, but I have a question. So, like, MLS teams can loan to...
Yes.
To is it NASL? What is the...
NASL.
Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah.
That's just... What do they do? What does that mean? They're getting money for him? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're getting money. Yeah, the Rowdies are paying to use the player. But if you're doing that, what you're just telling me right now, I don't even know who you're talking about. But that is a young player that they're developing. So they own the rights to that young player, but they are not playing him on their current MLS team right now. So they're sending him down to the USL to get playing time and get sharper. That's what I understand.
Yeah, Jake LaCava. I haven't heard him on the main roster, so I don't know who that is, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably a developmental player.
Apparently they got him from the Rowdies.
Oh, okay.
So now because they're saying our boy is back, and Jake, and they're showing highlights of him when he was with the Rowdies.
All right, so he's being loaned.
He is being loaned from Inter Miami.
So yeah, it's a developmental player. That's all it is. That's what that is. A young guy that still isn't cracking the MLS roster. And they said, all right, let's send him down and get a little more playing time like you do in the majors. The problem is that we're not so developed yet that we don't have our own minor league system that is tied to the MLS teams. Like in Europe, you will have a Division 1 or 2 team that you can send down some young guys and develop them and then bring them up. You don't have that here, unfortunately. So the USL is what you got. There you go. Let's see. What else do we have? Mostert and Williams have had injury history issues too. Adding Cook will give each running back recovery rotation time. Cook can benefit from a running back room with Wilson, H.N., and Mostert if he comes in cheap. Well, you said the key words, cheap. That's right. Speaking of cheap, Manny Navarro used to cover a football program that was cheap. Now they spend money. So now let's go to the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. We'll talk a little Heat and a little Canes in this segment. You doing anything on the Heat beat the last couple days?
Yeah, I've been out there since the series shifted back from Denver, and I had a story on really all the athletes here in South Florida, the big stars, and what they had to say about Messi coming to town. So that came out in The Athletic yesterday afternoon. I asked Bam Adebayo about his soccer fandom. The Miami Heat. Oh, I don't know if you knew this, but they're as connected as anybody, I think, in on this side of the pond, to use the soccer term, with soccer players in general. I mean,
for sure. Yes.
You had Neymar, you had Pogba at Game 3. Now you got Messi coming to town, but they've had European soccer stars at Heat games on the regular for years now. And last year, Bam got to go to Chelsea and do a tour of the entire facility. He was trading jerseys with players, and actually right after Game 3, it was Jimmy Butler and Udonis Haslem who got the first Inter Miami Messi jerseys. So
nice.
Nice little sub story to that. So you can read the article at The Athletic. It's got some voices in there, what the Dolphins had to say about it, what the Heat had to say about it, the Marlins have been doing to welcome the biggest soccer star in the world to South Florida.
So I would imagine you guys are about to hire an Inter Miami writer, right?
I would imagine Messi would have somebody on the beat. Yes.
Yeah. By the way, my boy Franco Panizo, who's in town, does an excellent job.
Okay.
That's a dude that.
That's a dude to get on there.
Rojas, tell Rojas to. Rojas is the dude, right? Still the dude.
Well, we've had quite a bit of shifting around. He's not officially the Miami guy anymore, but
he's like national now, right?
He's in charge of the columnists. He's one of the editors for all the columnists nationwide here in the U.S.
Él es el que más mea, is what you're saying now. Okay, all right.
Correct. He's not just the Miami guy anymore. He's got the national.
Hire my guy Panizo, bro. Panizo is awesome. He does an excellent job, dude. Really, it would be a good hire for you guys.
I will definitely pass along the recommendation, brother.
How crazy is that shit with Messi here, bro? I mean, they just added 3 million. They just added 3 million followers to their Instagram. They have more Twitter followers now than every pro team in the country now.
Well, I wrote in my article yesterday that because Tua is the first guy I quoted in that article. And, this is the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. They said he's only 486 million followers behind Messi.
Right.
Only 486. So. Right.
Isn't that nuts, dude?
It really is. It really is.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Must win tonight, bro.
Absolutely,
must
100%.
win tonight. It kind of like the Panthers last night. Like they had no choice. They have to win the next two games. So they've got to win again on Saturday. But for the Heat, you can't go down 3-1 here. No shot, dude.
No, but listen, these guys have been underdogs, right? The whole playoffs, both teams, and I think this is the kind of game where you're at home, you got to rally the troops, you got to be loud. Miami has to be really loud tonight. I felt they were in control of that game in the first half. They were up, 37-33, and then Jamal Murray hit that three-pointer. And it kind of sucked a little bit of the air out of the building. They kind of just have to capitalize. I thought the Nuggets weren't playing very well the first half. You got to build the lead. You got to put some distance between you and that team. And unfortunately, they went down 5 at the half, and then the Nuggets just sort of steamrolled them with bully ball. So I think in this game, it's going to be important for them to get an early lead, have a little bit of a lead to play with instead of always having to play from behind against these guys.
I've been saying that, obviously Jimmy is not himself. Okay.
No.
How do you win this series without Jimmy buckets?
A lot of 3-point shooting, the same way you won game 2. I mean, they hit 17 3-pointers in that game and shot over 50% from 3 in that game. That's what this team has done in the playoffs. They've shot the hell out of the 3, and they didn't have their shooters the other night. Strus and Duncan and all of those guys were missing shots. Those guys need to get hot. If they don't, they really have no shot in the series. I think it's as simple as that.
I mean, wow, dude. And it's really a matter of all role players stepping up in a big time way. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. It has to be a way, and I give Jimmy a lot of credit that he is doing his best to be a facilitator and a creator for them. But you also wonder how much do they stop laying off him a little bit to make sure the shooters don't take off, because Jimmy is not as dangerous as he normally is.
Right. Well, if he was getting to the foul line and creating problems for Denver, which he hasn't been doing enough of in this series, then you could counteract that. But I think right now, until he becomes that guy again who's hurting you in the paint, drawing fouls, they can just play Miami the way they played him in Game 3, which is get out on those shooters and get those guys uncomfortable. And you and I talked about this on Tuesday. He's just not the same guy. Ever since he hurt his foot against the Knicks, he just hasn't been the same guy. So I think I think unfortunately it's just part of what happens in the playoffs. And Damian Lillard would certainly have helped if he was on this team. That's for sure.
Don't worry about it. Listen, the way I've thought about it is the Heat, well, wait a minute. We made it to the Eastern Conference, almost to the finals last year without this guy.
Right.
This year, we've made this run without this guy. There's no hurry to bring this guy back. Plus, everybody's playing well. Who we're going to knock time off of? Let's get Tyler healthy so we can trade him in the offseason.
Right.
Duncan has improved his value.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of teams will be interested in Duncan now. So Tyler Duncan in a first rounder could bring you a little Dame Lillard action.
I agree with you. I think Miami's in a much better position because of what Duncan has done in this playoff run, because of the season Tyler had, right? Coming off, he kind of struggled his sophomore year. This year he had a good year before he got hurt. So I think there's certainly enough pieces where I think you could get the Trailblazers to entertain it, to bring Lillard here.
Yeah, there's not going to be a ton of teams lined up to give you a whole bunch for a guy that has a year or two left. So the window's really small. So your team has to be on the brink of a title in order for you to trade for him. So that's only going to, and he's not going to go to a lot of places. That's the other thing. He's
not going to agree to a trade unless it's to a place he wants to be. So
exactly. And I think that, see, the way I've thought about it is you trade Tyler and Duncan and a first rounder for Dane. And then in the trading deadline next year, now you've only got 2 months left that you have to carry Lowry's salary. All of a sudden, an expiring contract becomes, sexy to somebody out there, and somebody may trade a disgruntled star that still has 2 years left on their deal, and Miami says, "Hey, let's add him," and that makes us that much better. And boom, you move on. And remember, Oladipo can be used as a sweetener too, because that's another expiring deal.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, look, they've got good pieces, and I think now there's been enough proof this second run to the finals, outside of what they did to the bubble. There's enough proof to a lot of these superstars that, hey, you can come play with Jimmy and a guy like Bam who sacrifices his body and is going to set screens and play defense, all the things that you don't want to do. He will do that, and that'll allow you to come in and win a championship with Jimmy as a sidekick. So I think there's a lot of guys interested in that role now.
Oh, by the way, anything going on with the Canes?
Big recruiting weekend, huge recruiting weekend. A whole lot of 5-star kids are here. Some of them already been on campus. Colin Simmons, David Stone Jr., 2 of the best edge rushers in the country, top 10 overall players in the class. I think 6 of the top 35 players in the country are here this weekend. So big weekend for Mario Cristobal to try and impress upon these guys that, hey, we've got some really talented young pieces. Come join this, be a part of a change at Miami. We'll see what kind of a salesman he is. I think it's always easier in year 1 than it is in year 2, because in year 1, nobody's seen any results, right? You got the promise of what's going to happen. Now, when you come off a 5-7 season, you change coordinators. I think it's a little bit more of a difficult sell. But listen, he was brought here to recruit. He was brought here to upgrade the talent. He's getting a lot of money to do it, and it's his job to win these guys over and to bring some really talented guys here. He did it at Oregon. Brought in Kayvon Thibodeau his second year, his second full recruiting cycle. Got Penei Sewell his first recruiting cycle. You kind of see a similar situation, right? With Miami. They got Francis Mauigoa, who was a 5-star #1 offensive tackle, similar to Penei Sewell. This year, you hope that he gets the Kayvon Thibodeau in this class. So we will see if he can, how quickly he can build this.
Give me a Javon Holland also.
Yeah, they definitely need some guys in the secondary, and I think the good thing for them is Cam Kitchens, a hometown kid, right? 3-star, 4-star recruit coming out of Miami Northwestern, not an All-American like everybody else, and he's come here and become an All-American, one of the best players in college football, and that's a feather in Mario's cap. He can say, look, this guy thrived last year under the same secondary coach who's still here, in Jamil Adai. So I think that they'll be able to sell that to some kids and convince some talented players to come to Miami and play in the secondary.
What else you working on over at the Athletics, so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, well, I did a whole roundup of position by position for the Canes this week on recruiting in terms of all the guys that will be coming in here in June, guys that are targets, guys that are commitments. So if you want an overview of the entire recruiting picture for the 24 class, there's an article there to check out. I mentioned the Messi story that I wrote. I also did a mailbag. I answered a bunch of questions. I know I've got some UCF fans. UCF had a huge recruiting weekend, the most amount of blue chip kids they've ever had on campus a weekend ago when I was actually up there in Orlando with my family on vacation. And they're going into the Big 12. They're trying to make a name for themselves up there and start improving the type of talent they bring in through the door. So there's a whole mailbag of questions answered there. So there's a lot to read on the website. And of course, some great recruiting rewinds where we talk about the biggest busts in UM history and the best recruits that they've ever had. So there's plenty of reading material over at The Athletic.
Love it. All right. Yeah, bus. Kyle Wright's in there, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Kyle Wright and Willie Williams.
Magic Benton, is he in there?
There's a lot of them. There's a wide variety of selection you can go with, but Kyle is on my list.
Zev Buffman. What was it? What was the name of that big ass lineman? That was
they've had so many.
You remember who I'm talking about? Zev something. It was a big ass lineman.
He didn't get on my radar. But there's a wide selection at Miami, especially the last 20 years. The last 20 years, you could do a whole list.
Ooh, we got tons and tons. I'm with you there. Willie Williams. Yeah, baby. Your favorite and mine. Yeah.
Yep.
Protect your car stereo. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work there at The Athletic. Better yet, subscribe. Manny, have a great weekend, my friend. Enjoy the basketball. We'll see you later.
All right, brother. Talk soon.
You got it. There you go. Manny Navarro. Caneswear. Folks, you can get rats there. If you need some rats to go to the game tomorrow night, Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. 1 rat for $5, 3 for $10. There you go. And online, you can only get 1 for $5 online. The 3 for $10, you got to go in store to check it out. Now, you can go online and check out anything and everything with the Canes logo on it pretty much. Go to caneswear.com, and when you order over $99, you will get free shipping. Life is beautiful, man. 2511 South University Drive in Davie. It is caneswear.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Right. There we go. This is ridiculous. All right. All right. It's this piece that McDaniel was on a radio show or some kind of show, whatever it was. What's the name of the show he was on? Oh, it was Barstool. So somebody asked him, huh? Yeah, Barstool. Okay. So he was on with Barstool, and they asked him about the vape gate because he wasn't vaping on the sidelines. It's the dumbest thing in the world. And listen, if you're going to film the vaping, you will film the exhale. This is the part that I don't understand that nobody ever brings up. Because if you're going to catch somebody smoking, you're going to stick around with the video and wait for the exhale. What do you think? There's no exhale? You think he like held it in for hours? You know, and so he was never vaping. It's this in our world, we create shit out of absolutely nothing. And then we create problems for people when they had nothing to do with it, like Mike McDaniel. And then we got people running with this all over shows everywhere. And this is going on for months now, since the season ended. All right. Because that was like, I don't know, somewhere a month or two before the season ended, that crap came out. And for weeks. And I kept asking everybody, where's the exhale? I've smoked cigars. I know how it is. If you toke in a cigarette, if you toke in weed, if you toke in a cigar, you got to exhale. You can't hold it in and just keep it there forever and then never exhale. That doesn't happen. It's going to come out. So wouldn't there be an exhale right there on the sidelines? And then it would be really obvious. But it's a beautiful thing when you only record what you think it is and what it looks like so you can use it as a tool to create controversy and tweet it out and then put somebody in an uncomfortable position that did not ask for it, that did not deserve it. Because you don't ask that question of any other head coach. Can you imagine asking Don Shula, did you vape on the sidelines? Or John Gruden, or what's the dude that just took over in Denver? What's his name? Sean Payton. Can you imagine asking him that? They'd look at you like, what the hell are you talking about? Now he's cool and he went with it and he's quick-witted and has fun with it. But it's the dumbest thing in the world. Where's the exhale? That's what I want to know. So if there's no exhale, there was no inhale. So stop putting somebody in a position, because we have a lot of stupid people in this world. And they believe anything and everything that you put out there. So just thought it was ridiculous. But anyway. Big O, a victory cigar. Oh, we do need a victory cigar. We need one for the Florida Panthers last night with their 3-2 win in overtime. Let's give them a victory cigar. Love it. Love it. And for you cigar aficionados, how many cigar lounges in South Florida can you go to that there's also a cigar factory tied to it? Not many. Not many. There aren't many that you got a 30-foot leather couch, pool table, big TV, and a humidor with any and every single type of Perdomo cigar out there that you can go and enjoy, like this 10th anniversary Reserve Maduro that I absolutely love. It got a 93 rating from the Cigar Journal. And folks, go to Perdomo. It's right off of 57th Avenue and the Palmetto. It is a fantastic experience. You might run into Nick Perdomo there while you're enjoying yourselves, and you can actually take a little selfie, man, with Nick Perdomo. He's a really good dude. You could talk a little shop with him and talk a little cigars. He is absolutely awesome. The Perdomo family, Nick Jr., Arthur, all the great people out there just hanging around, and tell them that Big O sent you. And by the way, while you go there, they also sell Perdomo shirts and hats and lighters and cutters and all kinds of stuff. So check it out for yourself right off of the Palmetto Expressway and 57th Avenue for Perdomo Cigar Company. All right. The Chargers social media team even made a cartoon of McDaniel vaping as part of them playing the Dolphins on opening week. Exactly. And that's why, some of the crap that goes on in this world is just garbage. Dan Marino was there beating the drum. Dan, bro, what happened to his quick release? Buddy, you got to pick up the pace when you're beating the drums. I felt like maybe the golden oldies were about to come out onto the ice. So that's why he was beating it a little slower for the golden oldies. Yeah, that was the only thing that I would say to Dan. Bro, come on, let's go. Bump, 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 bump. Come on, faster, bro. Not bump, 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 bump. The hell is going on, Dan? I thought he was doing the little drummer boy. Pum-pum. So, yeah. Big O, can you ever think of a time when all of the sports down here were relevant at the same time? Heat, Panthers, Dolphins, Inter Miami, and even the Marlins? No, because they've never had Inter Miami in the past. I'm kidding. But, yeah, no, it has not happened like this. It's awesome. Awesome. And then you look at University of Miami basketball and FAU basketball, that was pretty good. Tank says, Big O, I haven't heard anything on Cedric Wilson, yet I've heard about other receivers looking good, making plays. It would suck for him to have a roster spot just because of a contract. How do you think it'll play out? I have no idea, Tank, because he's not a main receiver. So if you're not in the top three, and they brought in Berrios, who's probably going to be your slot guy, there's just not enough playing time for everybody else. Said and everybody else that's there. So if you're not Waddle or Hill, which you're going to get the majority of the passes, and then I think Braxton Berrios is going to be just shining as a slot guy, I don't know how you get a lot of footballs thrown your way. It's not Cedric's fault, man. You traded for Tyreek, and then it was over. Hey, boy, have a cigar. You're going to go far. A little Pink Floyd. That's it. How's that? Trying to think of... Damn. Let me see here a second. Just to screw around. I was trying to remember the exact part of those lyrics. Right, come in here, boy, dear boy, have a cigar. You're gonna go far. You're gonna fly. You're never gonna die. You're gonna make it if you try. They're gonna love you. Well, I've always had a deep respect, and I mean the most sincere. The band is just fantastic. This is really what I think. And oh, by the way, which one's pink? I love that song. Love that album. That's from the Wish You Were Here album, I want to say, right? Dude shaking hands with the other guy that it's on fire, I want to say. I think, if I'm correct. Might be wrong. Been wrong many, 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 many other times. Did they tell you the name of the Game Boy? You guys are into another conversation there. Marlins today. By the way, I hate that I can't watch Yuri Perez, and he's fun to watch, man. That kid's got some skills, man. Huh? Because we got the Heat tonight, so I can't really focus in. I'll have it on the TV on the side, but I can't really it's fun to watch the Marlins right now, And some of the guys are actually, they're really talented. They got some skills. This Yuri Perez kid, I like him, man. So Dylan Chase and Yuri Perez today at 8:10. That's what's going on. Any breaking news that I have overlooked, by the way, Seanster? Because I don't have anything. Dalvin Cook signed with the Dolphins already on a $10 million contract. That hasn't happened yet. 1 year, $10 million, huh? Is we're waiting for that one? Did I ever hear Primus cover that song? Oh, you know what? I think I have. I think I have actually. By the way, let me get into this a little bit, and I want to kind of wait till the show slowed down a little bit, and I have to have my glasses on because I don't know if I can keep myself composed with all of this. Eric Carmona passing away and leaving behind 4 beautiful kids and a wife. Just so sad. This is a young man, and I say young because he had a lot of life left, and his family deserved for him to be around. And obviously, the car accident that he lost his life in, and you guys have all done a marvelous job of donating. It's on our Twitter feed. I retweeted it again today, just in case. And for those of you that don't know, Eric ran the Tua Twitter feed, the Tua and On Twitter feed, with the videos and all that stuff that were, just absolutely funny and hilarious. And it's nice to see. Let me. It was up to 93K the last time I checked this morning. And let me tell you where it's at right now. It is at $95,300. Okay, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's a blessing for that family that they'll at least get a little help along the way. It will not fill the void of the love that obviously Eric Carmona provided for his family. But I think Eric is, up above looking down and saying, a lot of people stood up for me and defended me. And, I'm not going to get into the negative stuff that has aired in the last couple of days from that idiot because it's not worth it. But the way the Dolphin community has stepped up and sent money in for his family, I think is just one of the great stories here in Dolphin Nation, because it's not, I always tell you guys, while we broadcast here in South Florida, this show is for everyone in the world, because I always tell you, Dolphin fans, Heat fans, Marlins, Panthers, Canes, Inter, they're all over the world, and that's what this show is about. Yeah, we originate from South Florida, but it's for South Florida sports fans locally and all over the world. And that's what our Dolphin Nation is. And to see Dolphin players like Tua and like Tyreek and others, donate, I just, my heart is full of a lot of love seeing that, because Carmona deserved this. You know what I mean? He didn't deserve to leave us, and certainly his family deserves him to be there for a long, long time to come. But he was doing something that I thought was really important, to be quite honest. At times you might think, oh, it's a, silly Dolphin video and all of that. But you're talking about a guy that came up with a great idea, watching the unfair treatment of Tua and, calling out people and the people that were wrong about him, including that idiot. And, Eric, I got to tell you, he was doing something that a lot of us would have never thought of. It was super creative, and it brought a lot of attention, positive attention, to the whole Tua thing too. So Eric deserves a lot of credit for that, because he created an environment and a platform for all of us to get behind and support it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say enough about the response from the Dolphin Nation, from Dolphin players, the class that all of you have shown in donating. And again, the link is on my Twitter page. If you get an opportunity, Please help out. That family is, I can't imagine what that woman is going through right now with those 4 kids. And now she has to be the rock for those kids. And they're never going to have their father around. That is unacceptable, and there are moments where life is incredibly unfair. This is one of those moments. But don't forget this guy, man, because every time, Tua takes the field, that was his first left tackle. Eric Carmona. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. God bless you, Eric. Rest in peace, baby. I am glad I'm wearing my glasses. Anyway, I have listened to you for 22 plus years, says Jim. Now Big O chatted with you before all Fins home games every week when I lived there. Now listen to you from the Panhandle. You've been and are the best in the biz. Thank you, Jim. That's very nice of you. So sad. Carmona was only 30 years old. My prayers go out to his family. It's just way too young, man. Way too young. No business losing him. Again, life just does things at times that are unexplainable, man. Dougie Fresh says, I don't watch hockey. Please explain why my friend, born and raised in Boston, is so butthurt about Matthew Tkachuk and calls him a dirty player. Because he's a feisty dude that he'll fight and he'll scrap and he'll also at the same time take a lot of hits. Because, brother, they have been targeting him like crazy in this series. You see him whining and complaining? I don't know, bro. I got no problem. He is he's a man's man. Let's just put it that way. I like everything about Matthew Tkachuk. I want my superstars to want to fight. I want my superstars to want to always be hungry about winning. And if your friend, because he's not on his team, has a problem with a guy that is going to do whatever it takes to win, well, then, what can I tell you, brother?
That's the thing about Matthew Tkachuk. He's that guy that if he's not on your team, you hate him.
Right.
You think he's dirty, but if he's on your team, you're like, all right, he's my guy.
Yeah.
Because he will throw the little, the whistle goes. He'll throw a little, whatever. I don't know what. It's not
jab,
a cross
punch,
jab. Yeah, just a
stick, whatever.
But they all do it. Everybody
do it.
has their way of doing it. Some are not as obvious as Tkachuk is.
Right.
Tkachuk doesn't really hide it. He's just like, let's
Tkachuk
go.
just doesn't take crap.
Just doesn't care.
Just doesn't take crap.
But it's all to try to draw a penalty, really, is what it comes down to. And some people bite it, and some people don't go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. You look, you know where I have a problem with that kind of guy, Doug? The guy that doesn't produce. So you create all kinds of problems, but you're also not helping us win? No. That can't help. We can't have any of that. So if you're going to be a dirty goon and you can't help the team out, then all you're doing is creating penalties and power plays for the other team and all. No. So Tkachuk is that guy, and I have no problem. In fact, I can't wait to get a Tkachuk jersey just for the hell of it. Brett says probably because Tkachuk has a history of crossing the line between aggressive and dirty and has turtled when tough guys have fought him, says at Dougie Fresh. I haven't seen the turtle at all. But then again, if I'm him and I don't want my stars fighting. You're right, exactly. I kind of don't want them fighting. I don't want them getting hurt. Oh, does Tua look jacked in person as he does on camera? He looked like he gained 20 pounds of muscle. I don't think it's 20, but it's probably somewhere in the 10, 12 range, but he's definitely thicker. His arms are thicker. His shoulders are thicker. His neck is thicker. So, obviously he's worked on his core around his hip and all that. And now he's worked on the core up here of his shoulders and everything. So he looks good. He's running around well. He's throwing the ball really well. I like what I see from Tua all the way around, man. Very impressed. I got to tell you. If anything, Jonathan Huberdeau was the turtle. I mean, if you're going to call Kachuk a turtle, then what the hell is Jonathan Huberdeau? Yeah, that's a good one right there. You know, hey, does Barkov fight? Right? He doesn't really fight either.
The thing with those guys, like
I don't want them fighting,
but they aren't instigators like Kachuk is.
Well, that's true.
They're not going to get there and like
Yeah.
the whistle blows. Barkov's already back to the circle.
Right. Yeah.
Kachuk's the one in there like jabbing with an elbow or whatever, trying to get something started.
I was actually surprised Barkov's penalty early in the game.
Yeah, I think it was more of he got caught in the moment of trying to, because if you saw, and I don't know if hockey enough to where, but the Panthers were a lot more aggressive with I don't know what it's called. They're like flipping the stick out way ahead of them just to try to disrupt them before they pass the
right,
they were a lot more aggressive
in the
doing
passing
that.
lanes of it.
Yeah, a lot more aggressive doing that this time. And I think he just got caught in that.
Yeah.
Did you see the clothesline to Lomberg?
Yeah, dude.
Stick got caught in his other teammate's jersey and made like a clothesline on that. The guy was like, dude. I mean, it was a penalty, but it was funny because his stick actually got caught in the other guy's jersey, which caused the penalty. Was that the penalty that they ended up scoring? No. They scored on 5-on-5, right?
Right, yeah. That was a hell of a game last night because it was ugly and it was frustrating and then it was exhilarating. It's the craziest thing in the world, dude. Really is the craziest thing in the world what was happening yesterday. What else do we have going on? How about the Raiders? They're trying to trade Hunter Renfrow and nobody wants him. And it reminds me a lot of the Miami Heat. I know some of you are going, Hunter Renfrow and the Miami Heat. Okay, I gotta hear this. How does this make any sense? I'll explain. So the Raiders now have made significant changes to their offense, adding wide receiver Jacoby Myers and Garoppolo, and the coaching staff continues to reshape the roster. Hunter Renfrow's future has come into question. The 149th pick of the 2019 draft emerged as a Pro Bowl selection in 2021 and finished 20th in the NFL in receiving yards, hauling in 9th most receptions at 103 and 128 targets in 17 games. However, the arrival of head coach Josh McDaniels and wide receiver Devontae Adams reduced Renfrow's role in the offense. He finished 5th on the team in targets with 50, averaged just 9.2 yards per reception, and finished with fewer receiving yards than Quaz Watkins, Will Dissly, and Allen Robinson. Vegas added Myers to its receiving core this offseason, one of the most productive slot receivers in the NFL. It led to rumors that Renfrow could be traded, but it appears Vegas hasn't found much of a market for him. My buddy Tashawn Reed, who works for The Athletic, he says Raiders haven't received a single offer from another team for Renfrow. Okay? Now, here's where it reminds me of the Heat. And by the way, his cap hit, likely playing the rules absent market. There are still veteran receivers available in free agency, which wouldn't cost a team a draft pick and $13 million in cap space. That's what Renfrow would cost you. Now, here's my problem with all of this. Okay, Hunter Renfrow can play. He proved that already, dude, for a couple of years. So you come in and you change the system. Well, then now you killed his value. And so now you've got the salary and you want to trade him because he doesn't fit, but you didn't do something that would have been smart last year. He should have been showcased last year. Because if you knew that he wasn't part of your future, which you should have known, because, I don't think I'm sure from last year to this year, he knew that guy wasn't the future. So did the Miami Heat just give up on Duncan Robinson, or did they keep trying to develop him? They kept trying to develop him. They wanted him to put the ball on the court. They wanted him to drive. They wanted him to rebound. They wanted him to help out and assist more. And guess what he's done? All of those kind of things. So maybe Duncan Robinson isn't in your future, but at least you didn't kill his value by just keeping him on the bench. You kept trying to develop him, and kudos to him. He worked at it, and now you've raised his value back that if you are looking to move him in the offseason, you will have an opportunity. And the Hunter Renfrow thing is, so I come in with my offense and boom, that's it. But you've got to know the cap situations. You've got to know, okay, I'm stuck with this guy for a couple of years. Okay, so what is my chances of getting rid of him? Well, let me showcase him this year, build up his value, and then try to move him. But you didn't. You killed his value. Now you can't move him. And that's what happened to Duncan. He signed the deal, then got kind of exposed that he can only shoot and really does nothing else offensively, not just defensively, and it killed his value. But he then stuck with it and worked, and obviously the training staff must have worked with him, not training staff, the coaches, and get him properly prepared to play better in this league, and he has. And that's probably what they should have done last year with Renfrow. They probably should have built up that value. Big O, remember the Miami Soul. Do you think Mickey Vargas ever watches our show from the studio? Mickey, do you watch the show when I'm in studio? At all? Just wondering. Do I remember the Miami Soul? Anybody want to fill him in on that? Because I know some of you are a hell of a lot sharper than Mickey and follow the show a lot more than Mickey. So, not sure. But you guys could help Mickey out with the Miami Soul thing. Yeah, I know. I wanted him gone and loved the trade. I'm just saying, imagine what he must be feeling. Well, I don't know. You guys must be talking about something else. We want every player who is cut. That is true. We got this weekend Amanda Nunes and Irene Aidana. I'm going to go with Amanda Nunes. I am not going to go against the beast. So I'll go with Nunes. You don't like that either? That's wrestling. That's not wrestling. This is that's UFC. We're going to have to start using 2 balls. Yes. Oh, talking about the Raider trades, why don't they trade Stevie Wonder cutting their owner's hair and just go all in with Floby? Has plenty of Miami Soul memorabilia in the studio in the background. There you go. It's like there's a nice size flag of the Miami Soul in the background of my studio. Like when I'm facing you, it's on this side here. It's like literally right here. It's right next to the Eiffel Tower. And in fact, I put a Bitcoin logo where the basketball for Miami Soul. Yeah. And by the way, I covered the Soul. Okay. I went to some of the games and go into the locker rooms and talk to the ladies and all that stuff. They were dressed, relax. Jesus. I always get that. Oh, you covered the Soul? Dude, were they naked? Like guys are? They do the same thing? No, bro. What's wrong with you? In the WNBA, what they do is you go talk to the coach, the game ends, and then you go right into the locker room right after and you talk to the ladies and they're still in their gear. And then when you're done, then they, go start to shower and get dressed and all that good stuff. So that's kind of the way it is. Ruth Riley and company. Oh, man. All right. So does Tyreek break the 2,000-yard mark? Huh? I like that he wants to do that. Whether he does it or not, I don't really care. To be quite honest, it'll be fun. But if it doesn't result in having a lot of success in the playoffs, then the 2,000 yards don't mean shit to me. But it's fun to talk about. It's the off season. It's goals, that kind of stuff. And he was right about one thing in that answer, that injuries did kind of derail who they could have been last year. I am 100% behind that. this Dolphin team was better than what they showed last year. And if they can stay somewhat healthy, I know you're going to have some injuries, but, not a lot of key setbacks and a few, and not like the kind of ridiculous crap that happened this year, they should be all right, man. They should kick some ass. What do we got there? What is that? Oh, at the pool, at the Circa? The Circa pool? Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool place to, although you have to pay $25 to be there. To walk up there. Okay? So just to be there, you got to pay $25. When I went with Sean, I go, yeah, Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. What?
Exclusive update.
Yes?
Sergio Busquets to Inter Miami CF set to be confirmed within days.
Wow.
Stay tuned for more details. You heard it here first.
Sergio Busquets, huh?
Yeah, that's why I asked if it's a because I didn't know.
Yeah.
There's so many out there now. I don't know which ones are.
That was kind of a given that once you got Messi, you were going to get Busquets. So we got a bouquet of flowers coming. We at Inter Miami, we can have 5 DPs. We're allowed to have 5, 6, 7 DPs because that's the way the Moss brothers roll. So yeah, I would imagine that we're going to sign 2 more Messis. In fact, we're going to buy out Cristiano Ronaldo from the Saudi League and bring him over here. Okay, that way we have our South Beach guy, and so we send him down to South Beach, and he'll probably never come out alive again. That's the problem. All right, we thank Cameron Wolf. We thank Manny Navarro. As always, we thank Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend that powers this program and masters the platform every single day. We will see you later on tonight after the Heat game. We'll have a post-game show and a wrap-up for you. Appreciate all of you that have tuned in. Please hit the like button. Don't forget, if your business wants to join our platform and advertise, 786-754-4664. Maybe you want to host one of our insiders and your business gets a lot of exposure, new customers, and a great way of branding. 786-754-4664. We shall see you tonight. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
Your home for everything Heat.
They stand eye to eye with history, and they did not blink. The Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
Panthers.
The Florida Panthers are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Big O Radio Show goes deep on playoff coverage.
We don't care what the rest of the world is saying. We don't care who's criticizing who. You got to line up between these 4 lines, and let's figure this out.
The Big O Radio Show.